Good evening to you viewers of Cafdil TV. Welcome to today's edition of Religious Vocation Digest. Today we are coming to you from Christo Boise, the Benedictine Monastery here at Techiman. Yes. If it is your first time joining us, we are always live on Facebook, Cafdil Cape Coast, and then YouTube, Cafdil EDU. I am Sister Marian. I shall return shortly.
We are a contemplative order, meaning we hardly come out. Most of our apostolate is internal. We preach retreats. We have people coming for recollection that we preach. Most of our work is within the community. So we have people who work with the apiary, do bees, beekeeping, moringa, the cashew production, liquor. Our main orarium, prayer, divine office, we pray 7 times a day. That is the oral aspect, and the laboral aspect is that we work in the farms and also cultivate most of the food that we eat here. We have a few guest rooms for retreats, people who like to come here for retreats. That is also how we also fend for ourselves. We get a bit of income to keep the monastery running. Since we don't have a parish, but we depend on the retreats and people's legacy and people who want to support the monastery for. So those who want to become monks, you can contact us. We can give our numbers out. That is 024-612-5253. And I repeat, 024-612-5253. Talk to the vocation director and let's start somewhere. God bless. You are all welcome.
Welcome back to Religious Vocation Digest here on Cafdil Television. Just as I said initially, we are at Techiman, Christo Boise, Benedictine Monastery. We are here to listen to some of the monks here to share the monastic life, how it all or what it all entails. Little is known about monastic life, especially in the Catholic Church. So today, watch well, listen well. We are going to learn a lot. So my guest is seated. I'll go straight to him to begin the conversation for the evening. Father, good evening and welcome to Cafdil TV.
Okay. Good evening, sister.
Yeah. How is life?
I'm fine.
Please, your name.
I'm Dom Basilo.
Okay. From?
Christo Boise Monastery.
Okay. Originally, where are you from?
I'm from Upper West, London.
Okay. How many years have you been a monk?
37 years now.
37 years. Wow. How did you decide to be, or what motivated you to be a monk?
When I was working,
Okay.
when I completed school and I was working,
Okay.
it was a great project with the church, with the Catholic Church in the north. So I got the opportunity in the seminary to ask for books to read. So they normally give books out in the library.
Okay.
So the librarian gave me a book
Okay.
on Thomas Merton.
Okay.
So after reading the book for quite a long time, then I asked the fathers there how I can enter this life. They said there was no monastic life in Ghana at that moment.
Okay, that time.
That was, yes, at that time, in the 78 onwards going.
Okay.
So that unless either East Africa or Nigeria, but Nigeria, because there was no cordial relation between Abacha and other things, it was not good for me to visit there. So that should be. Later on, after I completed school, I was posted again to this particular town, Bupe. I was there working, and then a friend brought a note that there's a monastic life. They are starting a monastic life in Ghana, especially here, Christo Boise here.
Okay.
That was 85. Okay. So when I contacted my parish priest, he said, okay, I can visit. I can visit. But already he told me that there was already one in Kumasi, and they were at Akrupong.
Okay.
But that they have got a site. That one was temporary. They will soon move.
Okay.
So when I came here, they were just cutting the road. They were cutting the road inside here. So I slept at the parish with Father Odma and met the late Father Emmanuel.
Okay.
That time he was in the parish and some of his colleagues were at Trubadon. So we visited here. They were still on the footings. So they said unless they finish the construction and steady the life, they are not taking people now. That can proceed to Kumasi. So I proceeded to Akrupong.
Was it the same congregation?
No,
In
Kumasi was a different one.
Okay.
So when I got to Akrupong, they said they were moving. They were not going to. They are not
They were
going.
moving out of Ghana.
They're moving out from Akrupong.
Okay.
They have got their own side at Jamasi. They were moving out to that place.
Okay.
So I stayed there a day, and then the following day I moved to Jamasi.
Okay.
I found that it was still the same thing. It was all on construction, but they have already finished constructing. It was only with windows and doors, but because of accommodation matter, they were already inside.
Okay.
So I went there. I got the experience there, and I went back to the north. I went back to the north for some experience to leave the company,
Okay.
and I went back there 88
Okay.
and began the life there. It was the same benediction, but he was following the cessation lifestyle.
Okay.
So they were very strict, very, very strict.
Okay.
So I stayed there till 8 years. Then the superior there passed away. And they say, okay, we those left, they cannot profess it because they can't take an ordinary priest to head a monastery. It's like taking a priest to go and be a chaplain, a military chaplain. You have to go through training.
Yes.
So, and that time, this one have already started, they have not started here. So they said, no, unless they come and meet the bishop, Jim Wosu to contact the superior here,
Okay.
if they will accept us. So 3 of us, some of them left, but 3 of us came here.
Okay.
3 of us came here. And then we stayed here for about 2 years until the superior came. I said, the abbot president is coming to Sogwega because it's the same congregation.
Okay.
We are in the same Subiaco Kasani congregation.
Okay.
So when they came, they said we have to start all over again.
Wow.
We have to start all over again.
Go through formation again.
Formation, yes. We have
For
to
how
start
many years?
for another 4 years.
Wow.
So
And you all agreed?
some of them left. Majority of them left.
Yeah.
And I'll continue another formation again for 14 years before I was professed, 2001. And since I professed 2001, I've never left this place.
You've been here?
I've been here throughout. So last 2 years I make the 2024 I make the Silver Jubilee
Wow.
in this house. I will continue. Because with the monastic life, what makes the differences? We all the religion we all take vows, but the monastery one, there are 5.
Okay.
3 are only mentioned, but you have the other one 3 in 1. If you mention obedience, it's the same obedience, poverty, and chastity.
Okay.
Then you come to the strongest of all. You come to stability. That is the vow other religions don't have.
Stability.
Stability.
And
then conversion of manners. Stability bound you to the monastery where you made your profession until death.
wow.
That you don't travel. If you see somebody traveling, maybe they have got assigned duties or you're going to study somewhere. But you have to stay in the monastery
So
for life.
where you profess,
Where you
become
profess
your community for life.
For life. You become a community for life.
Wow.
Then you have conversion of manners. The community can never leave you, no matter what, either in sickness or in any kind of deformation. You must be within the community. You can't go outside of the community. And you have to, the basic decision, monks, you have to learn 3 things. You have to study, work, and then 3, that's era or labora, means every day somebody you have to work. You have work, you have studies, And then you also have the monastery in addition. So as long as you are within the environment, you study the environment, and you work there, you choose other things that will be good for you or for yourself, and also benefit the community in which you live. So that is why Crystal Boise here is different.
Okay.
So that is how you have the cashew farm. After the studies, they established the cashew farm. Even the block, you can see everything was molded here, and then they used it for the construction of the building.
Okay.
So it didn't go outside. Then we begin to plan and to study more things until after simple profession, you used to go to the mother house to do further studies.
Okay.
For some years before you come back. But now that is now a priority, you have to go there out to do other studies or other courses within the monastery or outside. You are no more getting people from the mother house to help you, because we are heading towards independence. The prior is different from the local superior. We no longer have somebody. The prior is now like the abbot for the place.
Okay.
And you live under the abbot.
But don't you get tired staying at a particular place?
That is why you have the work and study. So you cannot wake up and just stay idle. You have something to do that keep you going.
Okay.
That keep you going. And you also, and within those areas, you are different. People have different talents.
Okay.
If you choose, if it's music is your audition, then you lend me this as your gift. They will sponsor you to do music. Okay. If it is on building or agri or any sector where you fall on. So you do something on that. And that is how you earn your living. So that when you have something more, the rest is given to the poor. Okay. And as you are working, people also come to imitate, because here like this, when we came, there was no cashew. They didn't know what the cashew tree was. They didn't know the use of it. Until they got to realize that it's through the monastery, this thing is profitable. So they started establishing. By the beginning, it was not easy. Even up to now, you farm and plant the things, they go and remove them, throw them out, because they don't know what it was. But by and by, when the fruit started coming, they know that this particular plant is good. People go inside to plant, and then they stop the burning and other things. So you started developing. Even up to now, the shop is there. They have the cashew fruits. They throw them away because they only sell the nuts. They don't know the use of the fruits. They throw the fruits away. But it's from the fruit that you do the cashew liquor, you do the cashew wine, you do the jam and other things. Okay. So they are now seeing the good use of it. And most of the trees that were planted, some they didn't know timber will become expensive. Wood become expensive. The same thing, we will plant and then they'll go and throw them, remove them, throw them away. But the few that survive, they themselves are the very people who have come to cut them timber again, because now timber is very expensive. Yeah. It is something that is beneficial. Now they have now seen the difference. If you go out the monastery property, you will not find any big woods. They've cut them all. Oh. They've cut them all off. Because
people from the town?
Yes, because they don't plant. And some of the species that are good too, they don't know the use of them. It's only when you are here, then you go to know that this is something useful. Yeah. So that is how the monastery life is.
I was told you've been a vocation promoter before.
Yes.
Do you get young men attracted to your way of life?
We get, but because we don't move.
Exactly.
We don't move. When we came here the first time, it was only some few times within the year when you have the vocation directors meeting, you go there, you interact with people. If you happen to get you a leave, if there's a chance, you go home to your own parishes, and then you can talk about vocation. But as you rightly said, people don't know. Even most of the press, most of them don't know the monastery life. Yeah. So when you get the chance to go home, then they are now exposed to the parish, and they'll be asking you a lot of questions about the monastery life.
So do you have young monks among
We
the
have young
Ghanaians?
ones. We have young ones like aspirants who come visit, stay for some time and go back. But most of them are always in schools.
Okay.
So unless they are on holidays, then they get a longer period. You have to visit about 3 times. But you know, with schooling, if either Christmas or getting to Easter, then you have a longer period.
Okay.
Then you can visit. And those who have completed and they wish to come and see life for 1 month, and they have to experience the life. But I say it is not easy for the youth. Some find it like a challenge, like a competition. They want to do and see. They want to make it, to give it a trial and see. But
Honestly, it's not easy. Staying at a particular place for
easy because
a
the
lifetime.
vow of stability bound you here. So you can just imagine somebody who has been moving all the time, all of a sudden, you are trapped for about 3 months. You are not moving anywhere. So it will be difficult for you for the first beginning. But if you've already experienced the life somewhere, it won't be difficult.
Okay.
It won't be difficult.
Yeah.
So that is how the life is.
So do you enjoy being a monk?
Yeah, because normally since my whole life, with the inclusion, when I go outside, I don't feel comfortable.
Exactly.
If I go out of my some place, even in town, sometimes I don't sleep. Because the place is so noisy that the time you are supposed to have your sleep, there's constant noise. So you can't sleep. There's constant noise.
Because
You can't sleep.
your home is very quiet.
The place, you're used to the quiet life already. So when you go out of a place and the whole place is noisy, it's very difficult. Or you get sick, it's very difficult to manage with your sickness.
Okay. So now let's look at this. How is your activities for the day as a monk?
We have the 7 official prayers for the day.
Okay.
And that is beginning from the first edition, the vigils, also called Matins. By 4:30, you are up.
Okay.
That's the first beginning. And it's like a routine. You are used to it.
Okay.
You are used to that particular edition because there's no noise and there's nothing. So after vigils, you do your meditative readings and other things quietly. Nothing disturbs. But other areas, you can't do it. Even if you woke up to pray, but maybe there may be some funeral, the Lord have given you overtaken your sleep. How much more to get a chance to read? You can't make it. And you cannot stop the person because you know your environment. You know the place is not for you. So it's difficult. And there are some devotional prayers you also want to do. You can't do it outside. But if you are here, the place is quiet, you can have a time to do that without disturbance.
Okay. Wow. So at your age, okay, let me first ask this. Do you retire as a monk?
No, more we don't have
till
retirements because we've already taken the vow of stability and we are in the monastery. We have, it's not developing. The place that is developing, you have seasoned monks and you also have hermits. Those who have lived in the community for long and decide to be a hermit, like our first old man who was here.
Okay.
So their life is more different than you, the community members. And everybody, they have different graces. What he can do, it will take you maybe months and months and you can't do it. Some people do think you can copy it, but it's not something that you can copy. For them, it's like something in them for life. They have been with that life for long, so it become part of them.
Okay.
So you don't need to imitate them. You only have to learn it.
Okay.
You only have to learn it. So that's the difference it makes.
Okay. So at your age, are you exempted from certain activities in the community?
No.
Or
it's only when you are sick.
It's only when you are sick.
Every blessed week you have change of routine.
Okay.
You have change of routine. You have changes.
So now, apart from the prayer activities,
you go out to work. Some go out
You
to
still
work.
go out to work?
Yes.
What do you do?
We go out to work. Sometimes I do work in the garden, I do work outside in the farms,
Okay.
all along. And then we also do a lot of properties that we did from our own farms. We brought them up. So the people are working. If cashew is a yearly season, but you have the cashew harvesting time. Some have to pick fruits. Some have to pick the oranges on our farm. Some have to pick the star fruits. There are different jobs. If it's mangoes or avocado, you have to. And the time you also have to nurse some of them.
Okay.
You have to nurse the seedlings to remultiply, or people who want to buy them, you also buy them.
Okay.
And you also establish the bees. This is the time you have to colonize them. If you don't have much, this is the time for you to colonize the boxes.
Okay.
So if you have more catcher boxes, you can get more bees. And then you colonize the boxes. So that these
So
are,
you produce honey too?
you produce the honey and then you use the wax to produce the candles.
Wow.
To produce the candles.
All in this monastery?
All in the house.
Okay.
So nothing is thrown away.
Wow.
The same thing with the moringa and the cashew. The cashew, that's what they do there. There's some kind of drug, they do the sweetie bitters, but you have to get the cashew, the fruit have alcohol,
Okay.
natural alcohol. That's what you use to process it. If not, you have to buy the cashew liquor, which
Okay.
will be very more expensive.
So do you have fresh honey around?
Yes, we have.
Can we get some for Cape Coast?
We have honey. We have honey.
Okay.
But we also do the moringa, the same thing. We harvest them. Now they are already, majority of them are already bearing, so
Okay.
they are getting dry. But you harvest the leaf, you process the soap, you process the pomage, and the seeds have essential oil, which you also use, is also used for fractures and then other things. So you do all this, but you have to nail the seed if you want to do more. You have to nail the seeds and do all these things. The time we were a bit plenty, we used to do piggery and other things, but later on the number reduced, so we have to stop those things.
So how many are you now in the community?
We are 9 at the moment.
Okay, so you are 9.
So we are 9.
Okay. How often do you go home?
It depends. It depends on the situation. If the occasion arrives and then they know that the needs are always necessary, they give you leave. But we always, most of the pioneers when we come, it's scarcely go home because there's constant work. This time a bit better, but the dry season, you have a lot to do because few people you can't manage the farm because they have to get helping hands, plenty of women to pick the cashew nut, and that one is a lot.
And are your family members allowed to visit?
Yeah, they are allowed to visit, but because the place is far, so it's very far. But most of the time I stayed in Tamale during my schooling and other things.
Okay.
So it's a long journey to go to Tamale and come down here.
Yeah. If you just join us, this is Religious Vocation Digest on Cafdil TV, coming to you live from Techiman, the Benedictine Monastery. And we having a conversation with Father Basilo. Yes, Father Basilo, who is a monk. Let's take a short break here.
We are a contemplative order, meaning we hardly come out. Most of our apostolate is internal. We preach retreats. We have people coming for recollection that we preach. Most of our work is within the community. So we have people who work with the apiary, do bees, beekeeping, moringa, the cashew production, liquor. Our main orarium, prayer, divine office, we pray 7 times a day. That is the oral aspect, and the laboral aspect is that we work in the farms and also cultivate most of the food that we eat here. We have a few guest rooms for retreats, people who would like to come here for retreats. That is also how we also fend for ourselves. We get a bit of income to keep the monastery running. Since we don't have a parish, but we depend on the retreats and people's legacy and people who want to support the monastery for. So those who want to become monks, you can contact us. We can give our numbers out. That is 024 612 5253. And I repeat, 024 612 5253. Talk to the vocation director and let's start somewhere. God bless. You are all welcome.
Welcome back from that short break. Before we left, we were having a conversation with Father Basilo, a monk at Techiman Benedictine Monastery. He has said a lot about how he came to know about the monastic life and then the process he had to go through to be one of them. In fact, his initial formation, he has to go through twice.
Yeah, for 14 years.
For 14 years, yes. Now we are going to do a little history about the Benedictines. Father, please give us a history of the congregation.
The congregation, as I said, it was Subiaco, but now it's combined, Subiaco-Casanese congregation.
Okay.
But there are about 21 congregations that form the order.
Okay.
That form the order. And with this one, every congregation, they have a abbot president who still reside in Rome. But he does the visitation of the monasteries.
Okay.
He does the visitation of the monasteries of each house every year. And then they have the Beda College in Rome, which is run by the Benedictines. So all Subiaco congregation, we are in Ghana here, we have Côte d'Ivoire, we have Togo, Kubri, and then we also have Benin, Hikame. Côte d'Ivoire, you have Boaké. So they're all part of but they are French. Okay. But they're all part of the Benedictine Casanese congregation.
Okay.
We are all part. Okay. And I said, as candidate, you have the formation. It's 3 years here. You do postulacy 1 year, then novitiate 2 years. But the novitiate, the first year, after you finish the canonical year, you are sent out to either Togo or Kubri, where they have a large monastery. They are all Africans. Okay. So you go there and experience the life there, how this community lived. And they have inculturated the life into their congregations. So you experience that life before you come back. Okay. And then you enter your simple profession. So, and then you then go out for other courses. Okay. So one of the brothers then is sent there already to do French. Okay. In Kubri, because we're in the same congregation.
Do you have a founder? Or?
Yeah, St. Benedict is the founder of the Benedictines.
So all the 21 congregations
yes,
that
they are all
together.
Benedictines. They are all Benedictines.
So is it that it was started as one congregation and then at certain point there was some breakaways?
No. Okay. They have them in different groups, but the church begin to bring them together as one. And
you have a female congregation?
Yes.
I think we have some of them in Salt Pond.
Yes, that is part of our congregation. They are even the biggest. They are the biggest. Yes, okay. They are the biggest within the province. Okay. They have sent so many nuns to different countries. Okay. To different countries. Because one of the biggest.
Yeah. Narrating your life as a monk, it appears to be very beautiful.
Yeah, but you all have up and downs.
Exactly.
You have up and downs, as I said. Here is completely European, because some of the days that you are asking about holidays and other things, because they don't have it like that.
Okay.
If you were to go on holidays, they will send you from this monastery to another monastery.
That will be for your holidays.
So it'll be for your holidays. But here we don't have. We don't have. And then this thing is you are still beginning. You are not financially. You are not on your own, because they were still helping in these directions. So you can't travel far. But for them, because they are well established, they can travel far. But the difference now is that as these monasteries were established for long, they are growing old. So majority of the numbers are coming down. It is rather here you still have young ones entering the monastery life.
Okay.
There is different. People are in their 50s or 55 and they are still candidates who go for the monastery life. But here, they make sure that the intake will be around 30 or from 25 going on. If you are higher than that, they will find it reluctant to take you.
Okay.
But for there, you go some of the places, the youngest may be 75 or 80.
In Europe?
Yes.
Okay.
So it will be difficult. And they don't have much, you don't have much interest about religious life. Scarcely do you get them, because it's not like Africa. You have one family getting to about 5, 6. The whole family, you get one child.
Yeah.
The child decides where he wants his life to be. So he's not interested in religion. So to get vocation is difficult.
Scott doesn't want me to continue with the conversation.
You have to go. So
when you were the vocations promoter,
yes,
how were you convincing young men to join your congregation, knowing that when they come, they are going to be stagnant for life?
We have come and see programs during Easter and then Advent. Some of them on holiday, they come and see. And some of them too, they advise them, the pronunciation advise them that no, the more he knows very well that monks don't go out. The bishops in the diocese or in the parishes have to bring in youth here to experience the life. And then we talk to them. So some of them come here, they have recollections, and I think because they don't have accommodation. Few come and have accommodations. But because there were lack of rooms, you have to stay maybe 1 week or 3 days. You go unless the next batch also come in. Okay. But it's a big group. You come a whole group for the whole day. They have the sessions around. Then you talk to them. Those who are interested will make it on their own to come separately to stay and then see the life. Some are also interested in the liturgy because they have never seen the different, the way the monks pray and the way they also have the prayer outside. Some of them, they are not used to the psalms. It's now that when they come here, they find that this is another way of praying. So it encourages them to do the psalms.
Okay. Are you also into retreat direction? I mean the community? Yes,
people come on, they have retreat directions. Some have a directed retreat on their own. And some want this, they are like a group. So those who come on their own, they want directed retreat. So getting to the holidays, you have a lot of sisters and then religious group that come. Some want this on directed retreat on their own.
Okay. So about the fruit productions you have here, the honey and everything, do you sell them or
do
you use them for the
we sell them.
Okay.
We sell them. We produce and we sell them. We can't take them all.
You have ready market?
Yeah, we have ready market.
Okay.
People come to buy. Because we don't go out, people, they come, those who want to buy in bulk, they send the message. You produce them and they come to buy in bulk. And send them back to the other big areas to also sell. Some take their personal decision because some people, if you are at least age 40, sugar is no good. Honey is rather good. Or if you have children who are in school, if you are using honey, it's much, much better than sugar and other things. It makes their mind very bright. And because people are afraid of adulteration, some people buy the honey and they go and mix it with sugar and other things to sell to people. So they find that no, here The thing is direct.
They'll get the authentic.
It's direct, and the process in which it goes through is different from outside.
Okay.
It's different from outside.
Okay. When you say you don't go out,
Yeah.
how often do you go? Or how often do you not go outside?
If it's something like an ordination within the diocese,
Okay.
they go. Or like a big meeting that involves religious, like what happened in Sunyani.
Sunyani.
You go. But I also have the vocations directors, meeting director and directresses.
Okay.
And we also have the formators too.
Okay.
These are areas within the year you go. That one is mandatory.
Okay.
Unless something crop up, if nothing crop up, that one you go. And there you interact with people.
Okay. How do you choose your leaders as monks? Do you go through the normal chapter as the religious do? Or yours is a bit different?
It's a bit different.
Okay.
The prior appoint most of the decision.
Okay.
They appoint the leaders of the community.
Okay.
It's only when they are voting for the abbot, the whole community will, but most of the other things, their duties and other things, he appoints them.
Okay.
He appoints them.
So you don't go through a chapter?
No, we have chapters, but it doesn't go through appointment on those things because those things are already fixed. They know this. We go according to charisms.
Okay. So, how would you advise a young man considering consecrated life why he should be a monk?
My point of view is, if you want your prayer life and a life that is you sure is good for you, and you don't want noisy areas, it's better to become a monk because it is a sure vocation, but you have your own up and down, but it's different. Not like the seminary. If it's like the seminary, so many seminarians go back because you have 3 options in the monastery. If you can't make it the first time, you go away. They don't sack you.
Okay.
They say you come. A time will come, you feel that you are self-called. You come back again. They give you another option to continue until you get to 3 times. But in the seminary, if you are not lucky and you are off, you are off. You can't go back. So that is the difference it makes. That's the difference it makes. And then it's also easy when you are in the monastery and then you have there are 3 vocations in the monastery. People don't know. First, you enter as a monk. If you have the vocation for the priesthood, you opt for the priesthood. After the priesthood, if you stay for up to 25 years and you want to opt for the hermit life, you opt for the hermit life. It's another vocation. So there are 3 and 1 at the same time in the monastery. And the people go through this thing. But if you are already outside and you want to come in to begin the life, it's very difficult. Very few people do it, but so many people have attempted and they left. They say it's not their vocation.
Yeah.
Because it's very difficult. Because you are used to so many things people are involved. Now you come to the beginning of the edition, you find that everything you have to do on your own. Even if it's a bigger monastery, you are pressed, unless the abbot gives you the right to say Mass. You are not supposed to say Mass or hear confession because people are already there until you finish the training. So it's difficult. They say like somebody going to be a chaplain. They will not allow you straightforward to go and be a chaplain in the military. You have to undergo training.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing. You have to undergo training in the monastery before they accept you as a priest. So that's the difference it makes. And because of the concentration in prayer life, there are so many things that are obstacles you foresee already outside. And when you come here, they are cut off. You only be hearing of them, but you don't face them really. You don't face them regularly. You don't face them regularly. Those who understand you know that yes, this is the life you have chosen. You don't face those things. But they know that your prayer life is helping them. So a lot of people, even though they don't visit, they'll be sending them messages. This person is sick, this person is undergoing operation, this person wants employment, this person wants this and this, and you should pray for them. They are not asking you for money and other things.
We have learned this evening a lot about monastic life. If you are a young man considering consecrated life, there are options for you to choose from. I know before this conversation you knew a little about monastic life, but then today we have heard a lot. Parents, guardians, if you have a ward who has expressed the desire to join consecrated life, speak to them about monastic life, because they also need the vocation. Because we know less about them. When we are considering consecrated life, it's either the brotherhood vocation, the priesthood, or being a sister. But then the monastic life is also there to choose from. So kindly speak to your wards and then ask them to subscribe to the monastic life. Father, before we take leave of you, your parting words for young men and women out there.
My way to most of the young ones out there is that they have to experience the monastic life, because some of them have the gifts and they don't know, and they are confused. And some also feel that, because they just say, prayer life is only a prayer. There are more to be done than prayer. And as I said, it is through the monastic life that the church survives in so many areas.
Okay.
And they still have it, because there are constant prayer and there are constant studies that keep the church going. Okay. And that is the root of the church. So many things that people take for granted. If you read the history, you got to find that most of these wars and other things have destroyed so many areas. But it was through the monk they rewrite most of the things back, because they have learned the thing by heart. They have learned this thing by heart, and they are moved by grace to do some of these things. And it is still there. It is not taken away. And if some people feel the step, they go to the monastery. It's like a powerhouse, a spiritual house, and they get themselves calm. Because people are there to pray for you and to share your burden. But you don't know. Some people you don't know. Some of the people, the Catholic, if you ask them what is monastery like, they don't know what it means. And they feel that, it's only the Muslims who pray 5 times a day. Until some of them came and encountered, even the Muslims, they said they were shocked. Say, we are so few, and how is it that we do 7 times officially a day and we work like this? They thought they were the only people who could do this kind of prayer, or to live and then work at the same time. And some also come, they also come here through their contact with it. They get their vocation to other areas, because when you are there, there's so much constant noise and there's no contact, there's no direction. So the person is like confused. He doesn't know the right vocation for him. Okay. But when he is here for quite a long time, because the place is peaceful and he knows that this place is good for him, he discerns his own vocation. Whether it's active life, whether it's diocesan, or whether it's for the priesthood.
Thank you very much, Father Basilo.
Okay.
Thank you for coming on our show. Thank you for your sharing. Okay. I want to say a big thanks to Scott. He has been around. In fact, he came to welcome us. You are wondering who Scott is. That's the dog. He came to welcome us, and during the conversation, he actually wanted to say something, but then I told him that I didn't come for him. So maybe next time when we come, he will have his own time to share his life as a monastic dog. Yes, and thank you, cherished viewer, for joining us to do the conversation together. Remember, we are still in the Jubilee year, and for us in the Catholic Archdiocese of Cape Coast, it's a Jubilee year because we are celebrating 75 years as an archdiocese. So when you say a prayer, you say one for us too. So we come your way again next week. This has been Religious Vocation Digest.
Okay.